morning, everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is actually a new YouTube channel, and I figured I would start off with the BookTube Newbie Tag. Now, on my channel, I plan to focus on a little bit more than just books. Reading is one of my primary passions, but I also want to devote a little bit of time in this channel just to some more lifestyle type content. For example, I'm starting to get really into minimalism and simple living. Maybe some clean with me videos. I enjoy writing. I'm getting more into art and drawing and potentially even calligraphy. Basically, I just really like to learn new things, and I would love to be able to share them with you. But BookTube is near and dear to my heart. That was how I really got into watching YouTube and being inspired by the community. And I've followed BookTube for years and years, and I just really would love to be able to share my love of reading with all of you guys and maybe make some new friends. So I'm not sure if you could see her here, but this is my kitty Minerva. I can't remember how the frame is focused. But if you could see her, this is Minerva. She's 10 years old and she lives with me here at my apartment. To dive into the BookTube Newbie Tag, I have the questions written down over here, so if I'm glancing this direction, that's why. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? So I started this channel because, like I said, I've been following BookTube forever, and I really wanted to share my love of reading with you guys and maybe make some new friends who also love reading. So in my day-to-day life, I don't really have a lot of other people I interact with that are avid readers like me. So I'm hoping to make some new friends in the community. What are some fun and unique things you could bring to BookTube? So I'm 20-something living in Norfolk, Virginia. I'm actually in the Navy for my day job, but I'm working on exploring what I want to do next, if I want to stay in the Navy or not, as well as kind of coming up with my life passion and idea and life plan, really. So I think that sort of context is definitely not really new for a 20-something. I feel like a lot of us are going through the same exploration phase and the same kind of trying to find ourselves phase. But I mean, maybe my way of expressing it will be fun and unique because I am my own person. I don't know if any of that made sense. All right, the third question is, what are you most excited for about this new channel? So I am just super stoked to share a little bit of my life with you guys, to get more into the creativity of, digital video editing and presenting videos and presenting my passions for art and travel and reading and all of that on this channel. I can't wait to share some thoughts about some wonderful books I'm reading and just be inspired by the content and making content to share with you guys, and also maybe make some friends. So the next question is, why do you love reading? And that's a kind of hard question to answer. I've been a reader my entire life, but my love for reading has really evolved, as have a lot of other aspects of my life. So I love reading fiction. I love to explore new worlds and sort of be transported to all these various places. It's kind of like travel on a low budget almost. So I can't wait to do more traveling and share that traveling with you, but I love to travel in the books I read as well. However, recently I've also been getting really into reading nonfiction, which was not something that I really had a passion for when I was younger, but I've been really loving reading books to learn new things. Learning is something that I've always had a really strong passion and value for. So getting to read some of this nonfiction book and explore new concepts and topics and ways to improve my life and people's lives and history and all that kind of stuff is something that I'm really developing a passion for as well. The next question is, what book or book series got you into reading? I don't really have a good answer for this one because, like I said before, I've been reading my entire life. So growing up, I was super fortunate. I had a mom who really imbued that love of reading into me from a very young age. So one of my very favorite memories from my childhood was every single week we would go to the local public library and we'd bring a big canvas bag, and my brother and I would get to run around the children's section and pick out all the picture books that we were just really interested in reading. And then we would bring this big bag full of library books home, and every single night my brother and I each got to pick out a picture book to have my mom read with us. So that really started my love of reading, and it only progressed from there. So when I was younger, I loved books like The Littles. I loved the Magic Treehouse series. I was super into, I was super into so many middle grade series, and then it just went from there. So I am constantly finding new books that really grow my passion for reading. So the next question is, what questions would you like to ask your favorite booktubers? So I think one thing as I'm starting out this channel that I see is my favorite booktubers have this content. They've been doing it for a while, so their editing and their storytelling and their music and their reading all sort of go hand in hand. That art that they create through this video is super inspiring. So I'd probably ask them a little bit about how they go about creating this art out of the videos that they create about their books. And then of course, I would just love to talk to my favorite booktubers about the books they're reading and about their favorite reads and how joining this community and publishing their content on the internet has gotten them closer to their love for reading. The next question is, what challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So for me, like I said, I'm in the Navy right now. So one of the challenges will for sure be posting content consistently. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life. Sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not. And also just the breadth of different types of content that I would love to create and share with you guys. I think it will be difficult for me to make that content and really pursue this YouTube journey while I'm focusing on the other work that I'm doing in my life. However, I'm really excited about starting this YouTube journey, and I hope that my passion and motivation and excitement and enthusiasm will help me bridge the gap there and be able to make content more regularly. Next question is, when did you start reading? So like I already talked about, I've been reading my whole life. I did have an interesting story to tell about this one actually. So as a child, I was a huge reader. Even in middle school, I was that kid that would carry around her book in her book bag, and in between my classes, if I had a 5-minute passing period, I would spend 1 minute dashing to my next class and 4 minutes reading that novel. So I was such a reader. But then when I went to high school and I went to college and I joined the Navy, I sort of lost that part of myself. So I started feeling guilty about spending my time reading instead of working on the project or studying for that test or spending more hours at work to get the job done. And so whenever I was reading for myself, I felt guilty about doing that. But then about 3 years ago, I had this sudden moment of realization that I felt guilty reading, but I didn't feel the same guilt about binging Netflix or doing these other sort of less mindful and less healthy habits or ways of decompressing and relaxing that brought me less excitement and enjoyment than my reading hobby did. So I made this huge focus in the year of, I think it was 2019, it might have been 2018, to really eliminate Netflix and streaming from my life and replace it with reading, because that's something I loved and I will never look back. I love reading and I no longer feel guilty about pursuing my reading as one of my hobbies. The next question is, where do you read? So I do a lot of my reading sitting right here on my couch in my living room. I have a lamp right here, it's wonderful. I also sometimes do reading in my bed. I like to read before I go to sleep every night, so I'll do a few minutes of reading in my bed. But really, most of it happens right here. The next question is, what kinds of books do you like reading? As I've kind of alluded to, I'm really getting into reading nonfiction, specifically more of these books about habits and healthy living and simplifying your life. Sometimes I'll read biographies because I find that really interesting. And then in terms of fiction, I like to read a lot of like fantasy, sort of magical, maybe some political intrigue. I'm dabbling a little bit in sci-fi, but I have a TBR that's like a mile long. In fact, a lot of the books on the shelves behind me I have read, but there's a lot of ones on there that I also haven't read and would love to. And the final question in this tag is, what does your book collection look like? So you can see the shelves behind me. I have 2 large bookshelves full of my favorite books in line with my mindfulness and simple living minimalism journey. I've been trying to cultivate the books that I keep around me as the books that I either really, really love and could see myself rereading, or books that I really see myself reading in the future. I have sort of reduced the size of my book collection recently. So I have the books in the bookshelves behind me, and I also have some TBR books that I want to read in the more near future in my nightstand in my bedroom. All right, so I hope that those questions sort of gave you a window into the content that I hope to be producing on this channel. And I hope I showed you something new about me. So if you enjoyed this and you want to see more content about my entire life, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and chat with me in the comments. That is one of the things I'm most excited about posting content, is to chat with you guys and make some new friends. So take care. Bye.